Hello, aspirants, and welcome. In this explainer, we are diving deep into the latest data on India's 8 core industries. You know this is an absolutely crucial topic for your exams, so let's break it down.
So to get us started, let's think about a foundational question. What are these 8 industries that literally form the backbone of the Indian economy? We're talking about the sectors that power and build the nation, and today we're going to see how they're performing.
Well, the way we track this is through something called the Index of 8 Core Industries, or the ICI. Every single month, the government puts out this data, and honestly, understanding it is key to tracking the health of our economy. It really gives us a fantastic sneak peek into the broader industrial performance even before the full numbers are released.
Here's our game plan for today. First, we'll explain exactly what the ICI is. Then, we'll look at the latest snapshot from September 2025. After that, we'll dive deep into each sector's performance, zoom out to see the bigger trends, and then we'll wrap up with an ultimate rapid-fire revision session just for your exams. Let's get right into it.
Okay, first things first, let's get the fundamentals down. Nailing this part is absolutely essential, whether you're facing prelims MCQs or writing an answer in your mains.
Now, this number you see here, burn it into your memory, 40.27%. That is the combined weight of these 8 industries in the much broader Index of Industrial Production, the IIP. This is exactly why the ICI is such a powerful leading indicator. I mean, think about it. Its performance pretty much signals the health of nearly half of India's entire industrial sector.
So how is that big 40% weight actually distributed? Well, take a look at this. What's really striking is how a few sectors dominate the whole thing. You can see refinery products alone makes up more than a quarter of the entire index. That's huge. It's followed by electricity, steel, and then coal. Just keep this distribution in the back of your mind because it's going to be key to understanding the overall performance numbers we're about to see.
All right, fundamentals are down. Let's move on to the latest numbers and see what the data for September 2025 is really telling us about the state of our core infrastructure. And here it is, the big headline number. For September 2025, the provisional year-on-year growth for the Index of 8 core industries stands at 3.0%. So what does that mean? It means production in these key sectors grew by 3% compared to the same month last year. But when you dig into that 3%, you see this fascinating split. It's almost like a tale of 2 different economies happening at the same time. On one hand, you've got your growth drivers. Sectors related to construction like steel and cement are just booming. But on the other hand, look at the entire energy cluster. Coal, crude oil, refinery products, and natural gas. They're all facing some serious headwinds. They're all contracting.
Okay, let's break this down even more. To really get what's behind that 3% figure, we've got to look at the individual players, the stars that are pushing the index up, and the laggards that are dragging it down.
The star of the show this month? No question, it's steel. It posted a massive 14.1% growth. I mean, that is a seriously strong, positive indicator, and it's probably linked to all the government focus on infrastructure and just a really robust construction sector. Steel was the engine of the index this month, period.
Now, for the flip side, the key laggard. And remember what we said about weights? This is where it really matters. Refinery products, the sector with the single highest weight at over 28%, it actually contracted by 3.7%. So you see, when your heaviest player has a bad month, it creates this major drag on the entire index's growth.
Okay, pro tip for the exam here. Remembering the order of these weights is absolutely vital. They love to ask this stuff. So here's a simple contextual mnemonic for you. Just think, Reliance enters Steel City, or RSC. R for refinery, E for electricity, S for steel, and C for coal. That little trick will help you nail the top 4 in descending order of their weight.
All right, so that's the snapshot for just 1 month. But you know, a single month's data can be a bit jumpy. So now let's zoom out and look at the trend for the entire first half of the financial year, from April to September, to get that bigger picture.
And here it is. If you're writing a mains answer, this is probably the most important trend you need to highlight. There is a clear slowdown. The cumulative growth for the first 6 months of this financial year is just 2.9%. That is significantly lower than the 4.3% growth that we saw in the very same period last year.
Okay, here we go. This is the most critical part of our entire explainer. Let's consolidate everything you need to remember for your exams into a few super clear, concise points. So pay close attention.
All right, let's do a rapid fire of the key concepts. First, the Index of 8 Core Industries, the ICI, measures production in our 8 key infrasectors. The base year for all these calculations is 2011-12. Its weight in the bigger Index of Industrial Production is that magic number, 40.27%. And always remember, the latest monthly data is provisional, which just means it can be revised later on.
And let's hammer home those weights one more time with our mnemonic RESEC. The top 4, again, are refinery products, electricity, steel, and coal. Get this, those 4 sectors alone make up over 75% of the entire index. The bottom 4 are crude oil, natural gas, cement, and bringing up the rear with the lowest weight is fertilizers. Now for the headline data from September 2025, let's run through it. Overall ICI growth, plus 3.0%. The highest growth sector, the star performer, steel, at a massive plus 14.1%. The other sectors with positive growth were steel, cement, electricity, and fertilizers. Now who is in the red? The entire energy cluster, coal, crude oil, natural gas, and refinery products. And the worst performing sector of them all was natural gas, which contracted by 3.8%. And finally, what's the big picture story from April to September? Well, the cumulative growth for the first half of the year was 2.9%. This confirms the key trend we talked about, a definite slowdown compared to the 4.3% growth from last year. Over these 6 months, steel was still the top cumulative performer, growing by an impressive 11%. And the key cumulative laggards? Again, it's all the energy sectors, plus fertilizers, which all showed negative growth over that period.
So, I'll leave you with a question to really think about for your analytical answers. As we see these construction-related sectors booming while the energy sectors lag behind, what does this divergence really signal about the future direction of India's industrial recovery? What does it mean when the sectors that build things are doing great, but the sectors that power them are struggling? That's something to really ponder.